Massive Midwest snowstorm. All 5 of the Great Lakes were generating more snow across the Midwest on Tuesday, while the Northeast saw below freezing temperatures. Parts of the South were some 20 degrees colder than normal, and Canadian military helicopters were sent to help several hundred travelers stranded on a highway in Ontario. Up to a dozen of the estimated 300 people trapped in their vehicles on Highway 402 had been airlifted to safety by military helicopters by midday. But many people were staying with their vehicles, which were awaiting snowplows and tow trucks. Road travel remained hazardous in the Great Lakes region, and grade schools as well as colleges saw disruptions. Gusty winds across the Great Lakes are stirring up the lake effect again, and the skies could dump an additional 1 to 2 feet of snow on parts of Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York, the Weather Channel said. Lake effect snow is generated when cold air whips up storm clouds off the warmer Great Lakes. Forecasters said temperatures would likely reach highs in the teens in the upper Midwest and the 50s in southern Florida on Tuesday. Lows were forecasted to be as frigid as minus 27 degrees in North Dakota and in the low 30s in Florida. In northern Ohio, the wintry blast created risky driving conditions and pushed some university exams to Christmas week. In Cleveland, commuters walking on snow-encrusted sidewalks clutched hats and tugged scarves tightly against the windy onslaught. As much as 9 more inches could fall before a winter storm warning expires Wednesday morning. And up to 2 feet of snow has already fallen in parts of the traditional snow belt east of Cleveland. Classes were canceled at Cleveland State University. Kent State University canceled main campus classes on Tuesday, also delaying some finals. The Midwest has seen bursts of snow since Friday night. On Monday, more than 100 vehicles were stuck on snow-covered highways in northern Indiana. At least 16 deaths in the Midwest have been attributed to the storm, which dumped nearly 2 feet of snow in parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin before moving into Michigan and Indiana. Indiana State Police Lieutenant Lou Brown said some people made the situation worse by driving on roads that were closed or abandoning vehicles that got stuck. People would get into a snowdrift and couldn't go anywhere, so they'd just leave the vehicle to get out of the weather, he said. It just plugs things up, and then snowplows can't get around them. Along with the wind and snow, the upper Midwest was gripped by frigid temperatures brought by Arctic air that swept in behind the storm. Wind chills were below zero in many places on Monday. Minneapolis Metrodome's inflated roof collapsed Sunday under the weight of heavy snow. The Lions said approximately 30,000 tickets were distributed before 11 a.m. In Minneapolis, crews began inspecting the roof with hopes of getting it repaired in time for the Vikings' next home game, December 20th, against Chicago. Everyone is going as quickly as they can and as safely as they can, said Pat Milan, a spokesman for the Metropolitan Sports Faculties Commission that operates the Metrodome. Also Monday, ice-clogged locks and dams along the Mississippi and Illinois rivers slowed commercial barge traffic. Barge tows required 20 hours instead of the usual 90 minutes to pass through the Mississippi River Lock near Canton, Missouri. In western New York, dozens of schools were closed as the storm sent the region into a deep freeze. Some 20 inches of snow fell in Perrysburg, near Lake Erie. Rochester got 10 inches, with up to a foot more possible by Thursday. Winds gusted between 25 to 35 miles per hour in some areas along New York's Lake Erie. For the morning commute in Pittsburgh, the temperature was 12 degrees, with winds that made it feel like 4 below zero. The city saw snow on Monday and could get 6 inches on Tuesday. The East Coast might not be spared from the snow either, though uncertain at this point. A snowstorm could track up the East Coast this weekend, unless the system instead heads straight out to sea. More weather gone wild. Parts of Alabama and Georgia, including Atlanta, were hovering just above 0 degrees, while South Florida saw temperatures about 20 degrees colder than normal. Dozens of helicopters were being used on Florida's valuable and sensitive crops, an unusual approach by farmers worried that an uncommon freeze could wipe out their harvests. The choppers hover low over fields to push warmer air closer to the plants, and the farmers' hope save the plants from a deadly frost. Temperatures dipped well below freezing in Highlands, the second largest citrus-producing county in the state. But they did not drop low enough or long enough to cause harm, at least not yet. Typically, citrus can be damaged by 4 hours or more of temperatures below 28 degrees. Also, schools in Nashville, Tennessee were closed as a coating of snow made for treacherous road conditions. So, could this be Earth's response to global warming, or whatever have you call it? It is a very real possibility. And these are more signs of the times. Again, Luke chapter 21, verse 25. There shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. 26. Humans' hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws near. And yes, it's time for all prophecy to be fulfilled. And there are many different kinds of signs happening all around the world, day by day. And these are the end times, transition days. The transition is a continuing process. In other words, everything that must change quickly or rapidly, and for the better. So then, what kind of world are we leaving to the future generations?